In the dusty but peaceful community of Adigby, a small area in Abeokuta, Ogun State, lived a young man named Brother Samuel Ajani. From his teenage years, Samuel was known for being unusually quiet, humble, and spiritually inclined. Born into a struggling Christian family, he encountered the Lord Jesus Christ at the age of 14 through a deeper life youth outreach held during the Easter retreat. That Easter retreat changed his entire life. The piercing message of Pastor PastorKumuyi on the power of the cross brought him to his knees in tears. He gave his life to Jesus that day, and from that moment, Samuel was never the same. His passion for God burned like fire. Samuel joined the Deeper Life Bible Church in Otoko, Abeokuta, and became a regular face in every youth program, Bible study, and prayer meeting. He wasn't the loudest in the room, but his presence carried weight. The fellowship leaders noticed him, especially for his sacrificial evangelism lifestyle. While many young people were distracted with fashion, dating, or worldly ambitions, Samuel was often found trekking from street to street, preaching the gospel with his Bible and tracts in hand. His favorite evangelism grounds: the motor parks, bus terminals, and sometimes, the police stations. Yes, the police stations. Samuel had a burden for prisoners. At 22, he gained admission into Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, Funab, to study microbiology. But even within the campus, his fire never dropped. He was a backbone in the Deeper Life Campus Fellowship, leading evangelism teams and mentoring younger brothers. He was fondly called Bro Evangelist Sam. After graduating with first-class honors, his name appeared on several scholarship lists. His profile caught the attention of an NGO working with prison reforms in Lagos. This connection opened doors to an international organization in Canada, who were impressed by his record and offered him a fully funded internship and migration opportunity. This was a dream come true. It was everything a poor village boy could pray for. But in the midst of this, Samuel began sensing another pull, a voice in the place of prayer. A still, small voice began troubling him during his midnight devotions. The voice said, "Samuel, before you go abroad, I have a special assignment for you. Go to the prisoners, for I have many souls there waiting to be rescued." He couldn't shake it off. He took it to his pastor at the Deeper Life District headquarters in Lefenwa, who after much prayer, confirmed that God indeed had a burden for him among prisoners. Samuel had a choice: fly to Canada and start a brand new life with fat salary and prestige, or obey the strange burden to begin prison evangelism in Nigerian correctional centers. To the shock of many, including his extended family and even some well-meaning members in church, Samuel turned down the international offer. He wrote them respectfully, "I am grateful for the opportunity, but at this moment, I have a divine assignment I must fulfill in my nation." He started with Oba Correctional Center in Abeokuta. At first, it wasn't easy. He faced opposition, mockery, and even threats from prison wardens who thought he was wasting his time. But Samuel remained undeterred. He began by simply preaching in the prison chapel every Sunday. Then it extended to midweek Bible classes, literacy lessons, and even welfare outreach. Within months, over 40 prisoners gave their lives to Christ, including cult leaders and notorious criminals. Some began to study the Bible seriously, and many asked to be baptized. His labor of love became the talk of the correctional system. What scholarship abroad could not do, the gospel did through him. Lives were being transformed. Ex-convicts who were once rejected by society became preachers on the streets. Samuel soon received approval from the state headquarters of correctional services to preach in other prisons. He moved from Abeokuta to Ijebu-Ode, Sagamu, and Ijegun correctional centers, planting hope, sowing revival. The power of sacrifice. Brother Samuel's national impact and trials. Brother Samuel's fire for souls didn't stop in Abeokuta. As the Lord continued to use him in prisons, testimonies began to flood in. Prisoners wrote letters to their families, testifying of their salvation. Some ex-convicts refused to return to crime after their release. One of them, Chinedu, a known armed robber in Sagamu, became an itinerant preacher, boldly declaring, "If God could change me through that man called Brother Samuel, he can change anybody." Samuel didn't just preach. He taught the inmates how to read and write. He donated Bibles. He partnered with Deeper Life Brethren to provide free hygiene kits, clothes, and basic medication for the prisoners. Many began to call him the prison apostle. But just when it looked like the heavens were smiling on him, trials came, heavy and unexpected. A senior officer at the Ijebu Correctional Center, who was uncomfortable with Samuel's influence, accused him falsely of indoctrinating prisoners and staging unauthorized religious conversions. Samuel was interrogated. He was banned temporarily from entering some prison facilities. Friends began to call him foolish for rejecting the Canadian job offer. Some mocked. "You left abroad to preach to criminals. Now see where it has landed you." Even members of the church, people he once led in evangelism, started withdrawing from him. Samuel entered a season of weeping, but he refused to quit. In the quiet of the night, he would kneel by his mat and whisper, "Lord, though all forsake me, I will not forsake you. Give me strength to continue." One morning, as he was praying, he received a call from an unknown number. "Is this Brother Samuel Ajani?" "Yes, speaking." "This is Officer Musa Danjuma, the Director of Prison Chaplaincy Services in Nigeria. We've been monitoring your work in Ogun correctional facilities. You were recommended by one of the ex-convicts in Abuja who got saved through your ministry. The government and a Christian NGO want to work with you to develop a national rehabilitation model using biblical teaching." Samuel was stunned. From being falsely accused and temporarily banned, he was now being offered a national platform to take prison evangelism across the country. A new chapter began. He relocated to Abuja, not for comfort or politics, but to work closely with national prison leadership and NGOs. Samuel started organizing nationwide gospel crusades for inmates. He trained volunteers. Deeper Life Bible Church stood behind him more than ever. Even Pastor PastorKumuyi publicly acknowledged his ministry in a global service. Inmates in Jos, Kaduna, Enugu, Lagos, Ibadan, Maiduguri, and more started receiving the gospel. The revival spread. Soon, his story was published in Christian magazines, featured in documentaries, and shared in mission conferences worldwide. That same Canadian NGO that first offered him an internship, they offered to sponsor his national prison evangelism mission with funds and resources. Samuel accepted the help, but he remained grounded, often saying, "I am not in this for fame. I'm in this because hell is real, and Christ still saves." Charge to believers. Dear believer, God's will may not always come with applause at first. You may be mocked, misunderstood, and even rejected. But if you remain faithful, your obedience will speak. The harvest will come. The impact will manifest. God is still looking for men and women like Brother Samuel. Believers who choose divine assignments over personal ambitions, who say yes Lord even when it's inconvenient. Charge to unbelievers. If you're not yet born again, remember this: Christ died for you. No matter how dark your past is, even if you were like the inmates in the prison, Jesus offers salvation. All you need to do is surrender.